good morning, everyone, or good evening, afternoon, wherever you are. It's about a quarter to two in the morning here, and I'm up. I'm sure there's some of you that really aren't surprised, all 14 of you. And I appreciate you guys joining me here. I, uh, I laid down like 9:30, and I just laid there and could not sleep. I don't know. I don't know. I don't think the walls are closing in. I just I'm just starting to feel the pressure of this upcoming ordeal, I suppose. Um, we had, the group. We have our group chats, and I've kind of compartmentalized uh, the leaders of different, the group leaders and the tech guys, and everyone has this community of just us that we talk to each other in, and we have the main one with all the important stuff goes in. So we had I got with David Dominique, the tech guy, of how we're going to save all of this footage from all these different devices for a week straight of filming. Not everything will be going constantly, but something's going to be going uh, continuously at some point. Multiple things, and so I put a message out to, we need to know everything everyone's bringing. We've been talking about these things, but we need like make, model, serial number. It's just the way David come up with to forensically save everything. we're getting, well, I'm bringing 2 recorders and this. I'm like, no, we need to be specific. And something happened. I'm gonna read you this. David wrote this thing, and I don't know what it did, but it just kind of got to me a little bit. And that's probably why I don't know. I couldn't lay there anymore not talking to anyone. I actually talked to Chad a few minutes ago. I didn't know he was awake. I probably wouldn't have done this. So I turned to my Bigfoot family for support uh, in times like this. This is what David wrote. Please include model numbers, serial numbers, and all SD and micro SD cards. Please include the make and size of the cards you are using with the equipment, i.e. SanDisk, 64 gig micro SD card, let's call A, and 32 gig Kingston micro SD card, we'll call B. So if you have a digital camera, I will have a file with your digital camera, make, model, and serial number, and our device number, say it's 003, given to it. This is probably hard to follow. And within that file will be a file for each of the memory cards with device number and A or B. So the log will show you out on whatever day and time with camera 003A, telling me that the data on your 64 megabyte SD card in the camera needs to be dumped. That way, when you go out the next day with your camera with card B, it gets logged as 003B. This is just how David talks. So if you have multiple cards and you leave a card with him to dump, I know where the card came from, where that data goes, and who gets it back. If cards are separated from devices, we will put those cards in plastic baggies and number with markers what devices they are from. And in 003B, say, is the 64-bit card from Kerry's Sony Model XA camera, serial number, whatever, used on whatever day and time by Chad or whoever. That way we know who owns the device, who was using the device, when, where, and which card was in it. Now, it might seem like a pain behind, but we will know who used what, when, and where, and know where any data from its location from a certain day or time or person on 1 or 3 large hard drives. So we're saving all this stuff. If we get evidence from a device, the card will be pulled, data dumped, and a forensic image of the data made. The card will be kept labeled and packaged as evidence. It will not be wiped or used again. None of this includes the fact that we need backup copies of data made on additional HDDS. So, to make a long story short, it's already long. We need the specific device information from everyone's as soon as possible to keep track of everything. I hope this helps and that you all understand, David. And I made a comment because it's how I felt in the moment. Uh, that that just made this real instantly for me. Not that it wasn't real before, but just something about seeing that and reading that there are all these things that we have in place that we've been thinking about for the last 2 years to do this, and seeing that has got me not able to sleep. I'm up, and I don't know. Um, I said this to myself today that what in the world have I gotten myself into? When it's months out and you're thinking and you're pipe dreaming all these things that you want to do and you feel like need to be done, and you say, okay, well, yeah, we can do this. When you're standing on the edge of it and reality kind of strikes you that you're going to do this thing that you felt for years needed to be done, that you were waiting for someone else to do, and decided to get up and do it yourself, uh, you really start to second guess some things. Um, regardless of what anyone has in this, we've all got a lot in it. I'm not talking about financially or time wise, but there are not even reputations. The things I think about is what if something does go wrong? Who's who's that on? It's on me. That's not on anybody else because I did this. Beginning to question it. I don't know. Maybe I just need some help. I just need my friends to talk to me. Who's got anything at all to say comforting whatsoever? Um, wow, 65. I didn't expect this many to be here this late. So I really appreciate you guys showing up. And we've been talking so much about the things we want to do and plan to do and hope to do and scenarios and what could happen. And there's just something about this place where these things are possible. I can't think of, and I challenge anyone to tell me any other place in the country, in the United States, that you could walk into the bushes and find one of these things. For the most part, I think they just stay away from us. They see us coming, they stay away. You keep going in, they keep getting further back. They just don't seem to do that here. It's almost like they've been conditioned to look at people and watch people, and maybe once they realize what's going on, they will do that. But they still don't have very far to go. Uh, we're going to be there for a week. They're they're probably going to want to run us out of there, which would be, I guess, a good thing. There's just so many things that concern me about this, and I can't stop thinking about them. And so I'm here, and I'm just looking to my Sasquatch, my Sasquatch family to help me. I'm sorry, I'm laughing. That's all I can do. That's all I can do. It's the only thing that makes me feel a little bit better about this. And it's not that I'm not going to do it. There's no backing out at this point. It's just such a big thing to try and do. Even if we get absolutely nothing, the process that we've laid out in front of ourselves to do is huge. I don't know anyone that's ever done this, that's tried to film continuously uh, this way and get anything, try to make something out of it. There'll be a lot to choose from. I can tell you that it's going to take a long time to put together. It's going to take me months to put it all together. I'm going to say 2, 3 months just to get it all, to get them all done. And we're not putting one out until they're all finished. Because if I put out 3 and something happens, everyone's left on the hook, and I'm not doing that. I agree, Tennessee. It's exactly what it is. And it's not like we're leaving tomorrow. We're still a little ways out. I don't need it. Forget it. I do that every time I drop my phone. I just feel like I have to have something in my hand. But it's good to see some pretty new faces here. I guess you guys, a lot of you are over in the UK, or it's daytime, or maybe just evening. Without a doubt, Lee, better organized. We got the right people to do this. Not that I don't think we didn't have the right people last year. It's just I think the difference is we didn't get to go. And I didn't feel this way before going last year. There wasn't, that reality wasn't really sinking in. Man, I don't know why, but maybe it's because we weren't so prepared and gone through so many things. Um, I mean, down to the finest detail. We've got almost 19 people thinking about this, kind of putting things out there. And so, yeah, maybe that's it. Is that it's just a lot more real. I guess we know it's happening. Um, we are at least going to make it down there. It's I was just we just talked about it being during spring break, so there could be some partying going on around us, which could be good for us. More entertainment for the boogers. Yeah, Lee McNew, I am up late, and that is funny that I'm up late. I guess trying to laugh about it anyway. But all we want to do is get something better, and hoping everything turns out. And we hear it all the time. You guys be safe. Just be safe. And that's not what we're planning on doing. That's being safe to a degree, I suppose. When it comes to specifics, we're going to be as safe as we possibly can. But when it comes to these creatures, uh, the plan is really not to be that safe. I don't see how we can and get what we're after. Um, I don't think that what we're planning would work anywhere else, just because they can stay so far away, and just watch you from there. When you get closer, they just stay further away. They just don't act that way here. And I think if anybody's watched what Mark and Melanie Zaski have done for the last 6 years, you'll understand that they just come up and watch. And if you have the right equipment and can detect them, thermal, night vision, whatever it is, and know where they are, you can put yourself in a position to actually catch them moving. Now, Mark's caught them moving. Uh, you can see definite movement from frame to frame, but they're more apt to just sit there and watch you until you leave. Um, Phil, if you're not stressing about it, you're not taking it seriously. That's actually a good point. Thank you, Phil. You're wanting to do what's right by everyone. You are thorough and conscientious, I suppose. More so this time. And maybe it is because of who we've got That the group is a lot more involved this time. You know, it's not just another outing that most people are used to going on. You know, it's work. There's, you know, not going to be any messing around, goofing around, playing around. I mean, maybe a little here and there, but for the most part, there's so much that has to be done because of the way we're filming this. And if I haven't told everybody, if you haven't heard by now, um, we've got a lot of equipment, about 20 or 22 different devices, from thermals to night vision, scopes, thermal drone, and that's just for the body cameras. You got GoPros, got the Sony cameras that these guys are going to be wearing, and then the audio equipment. We've got so many recorders that we're going to have set out. Chad's epic parabolic that he just got, the parabolic that I got, and then there's all the filming equipment, which is, you know, the 2 professional camcorders that we'll be using, a rail for one camera. It's just camera slides back and forth for interviews, just to give a little added dynamic. Um, like 15 batteries for each one, the different microphones. That just there's a lot of stuff involved here that is going to have to be getting recharged. Notes are going to have to constantly be taken. You know, we have a shot list and we have to go through. Interviews are going to have to be going on continuously because there's going to be cameras running in the field and at base camp. We'll have static cameras set out just pointing in the woods just to catch anything that moves around us. Got one night vision camera. I think Chad's bringing a night vision camera too. I don't know how he plans to use it, but we're at least going to have one static night vision camera, just watching the woods all the time. So it's very involved. There's going to be initial interviews, just getting to know who these people are. Then there's going to be the people that go out. When they come in, everyone that goes out has to come sit down and get in front of the camera, talk about what they did, what they saw or didn't see, or what they plan to do next. All these things, they've all got to do this, and all these things have to happen for us to make this film the way I want to make it. I'm putting this thing together. These guys are doing the real legwork, the field work. I'm just going to be there filming them do it, and 5 others that I've chosen to do the same. But you know, those 5 others are also going to be going out investigating. I'm probably going to be the only one not out actually looking for them. I'll be face down in the camera doing this. But it's I don't know, it's just kind of getting to me for some reason. That's just not really expected, I guess. And if you weren't here earlier, I just the only reason I even went live is because I didn't think anybody else was up. I knew I could come talk to at least 20 or 30 people and maybe feel a little bit better and maybe try to go to sleep. It was 1:45 when I started this 20 minutes ago. And yeah, so it's 2:05. And I laid down at 9:30 and just was wide awake the whole time. It's all I think about. I go to work for 12 hours a day, and I'm going to be late in the morning, but it'll be all right. So for 12 hours, I'm good. The other 12, here I am. So, anybody want to join me? Somebody come join me. How about that? Anybody that wants to come join is absolutely welcome. There's the link. If you're on your phone, you hit the link, it'll say copy it, paste it in your internet browser, hit go, enter broadcast studio, and I'll put you on. I'd love to talk to someone else. I'm trying to read as much as possible here. I'm so used to just picking out the stuff that's all in caps that I'm glad. I'm Bobby. I'm glad you guys are excited about this. I really want this to go well, and and it's it's a long shot. I think we're giving ourselves the best chance to do what we're planning to do. There's no guarantee that we're going to be able to catch one of these things on camera in motion. I think we'll catch them all day long watching us. Yeah, we'll see those big ugly faces poking through the bushes, looking at us clear. No pareidolia here. They will be clear, or you won't see it. I won't put it out there. But I lost my train of thought there for a second reading. Sorry. This is the problem with being on by yourself, having to carry the whole thing. 104 people. Wow. Really appreciate you guys joining me. There's something right here from Matthew. It's the fear of the unknown. No one has ever gone after them. What the Sasquatch reaction will be is the fear. You should be concerned. Well, I am, quite honestly, because I don't want to. I don't want to not do it. I don't want to sit here for the last year and a half, essentially telling you guys that we are going to do this and then not do it. And then I don't want to do it and see someone get hurt. I guess that's probably the biggest deal, because when I say there's no safe way, I don't think, to do this, that's what I mean. You know, we can prepare for snakes and alligators and hogs and those things like that, but there's no way to prepare for what these creatures might do, because there is a level of tolerance that you can breach. And I know this for a fact because I've experienced it myself. It took 7 years for me to do it, but I did it and they reacted. That's why I'm sitting here now. That's why we're going to do this. It's hard. I don't know if you've never experienced this creature or seen one. Just imagine the frustration of knowing that these creatures exist, and then knowing that the majority of the 7 or 8 billion people on this planet are not going to believe it, because you aren't going to believe it yourself. It's easy to understand, but it's still frustrating at the same time. So it's not hard to understand why I'm driven to do something like this. I want more people to be convinced. You don't have to really see it yourself, or not so much believe that these creatures exist to be. You don't have to know to be convinced that they're out there, but you got to see something better than what we've got. It's all been gone over for the last 50 years, over and over and over. And we've gotten to a point where we're just spinning our wheels. That's the way I feel about it. Gathering and representing the same old thing, blurry images. It's just not good enough. And there's not enough of us out there. I say us like I'm out in the woods, really stepping it up and trying harder other things. You know, I understand that there are those people out there that go to enjoy the outdoors and the wilderness. And if they experience these creatures knocking or yelling in a distance, or have them come into camp, they're satisfied with that. And I'm not. I'm not satisfied, because that doesn't do anything to forward the subjects. We're not moving forward. Now, if that's all people want to do, fine. But there has to be someone that does this. I didn't want it to be me. I still don't want to do this, but I'm here, and we're doing it. No one wants to join me. I'll put it up there again in case someone missed it. Somebody come sit in with me. Come talk to me. My buddy Todd. Proud of you. Kerry. It's 2 R's, buddy. as a friend and your mind's ability to plan and follow through. Yeah, well, it's more of a thorn in my side than you you know Strangeland. Randy, maybe you're nervous because you're trying to style a research never been done before. I'm not going to say it's never been done. Maybe it has. Maybe there are those that do that, but to it's not just that. For me, it's the gravity of wanting to. Yes, my buddy Hilton. It's the
Hey,
gravity,
Kerry.
buddy. Good to see you.
Yeah, good, mate. Hey, I just wanted to come on and say, like, what you're doing is an amazing thing. There's a lot of support in the chat here. A
Oh,
lot
we
of
have
support.
support from all over the community. It's amazing. Absolutely. It's why I came here. And I didn't try to call somebody else at 1:30 in the morning here, or 1:45
Yeah,
or whatever time it is. There's a moth on the screen.
yeah. Well, it's only 8 here, and then
I figured I would get my Australian buddies and New Zealand buddies and UK, that family for sure. But the thought I was finishing was it's not just going after these creatures. It's the it's the
UK, that family
it's
for
the
sure. But the
uh-oh.
thought I was finishing was it's
William, you got some headphones, buddy? You got any headphones, William?
William, you got some headphones, buddy? You got any headphones, William?
It's a really
William,
bad delay.
headphones, buddy?
If you get headphones or
You got
we
any
get this,
headphones, William?
we can hear it now. I'm sorry. If you can find some headphones, I would definitely appreciate it for sure. Yeah, where was I? Yeah, it's not just going after this thing. It's the gravity of filming continuously from multiple points, having to save the data in a specific way so it's defensible evidence for one, and easy for me to go into a file for a day and edit. I mean, I'm still going to have to go through and watch every second of it from every device, listen to every bit of audio from all of it, pick out what the best stuff that helps tell this story, because that has to go with it too. So it's not just collecting and going after these creatures, it's telling the story in a palatable way. I worry as much about that as I do anything else. And I know that's all I'm doing is sitting here and worrying, probably for nothing. We're going to do this. It's not like I'm going to just say, well, I'm not going. There's too many people involved and too much in it at this point. And it's just, I'm starting to feel it, I guess. I don't know. This didn't happen to me last time,
But that's good, Kerry. I mean, if you weren't worried about it or overthinking it, you're probably not invested enough into it. And like that's when things go wrong, is when, because I mean, people that are overthinkers are successful in what they do, because they don't leave things out. And people that are, pretty blasé, to think of lack of a better word, what they do, they don't think out. And people that are, pretty blasé, to think of lack of a better word, what they
You might have to connect those, William.
I've just got a delay here.
Yeah, just down on the bottom of the screen where it says Cam Mic, you can go and then you'll have to add your headphones in the audio part. Yeah, no, I get that. I understand that. But I don't know. I'm probably sound like the biggest baby in the world right now.
No, man.
Coming on here at 1:30 in the morning because I can't sleep.
No, it's all good, brother. It's all good. And I think this is just my opinion, and I'm probably sure there's other people out there that think the same, that at the very least, if you do not get anything, which I think you will, but if you do not get any, the whole documentary will show how hard it is to actually get footage of these things, the big fellas, as I start calling them.
Yeah, I think because this is another thing I think about. What is the measure of success here? I mean, just getting something a little bit better than what we've got already, I think would be good. But being able to put it out there in a way that's so hard to explain what's in my head and the way I see this going. You know, I do this every time before Linda and I travel and go shoot a documentary. I've got it in my head. I'll talk to these people on the phone. I know their story in and out. I know where I want to go. I've got a shot list, and when we do the interview, I'm taking notes. This is what we want to go and shoot, and that's how I put it together. It's going to be hard to do that with this because I'm not going to be there for every shot. So some of this stuff I'll be able to hear about, but I won't be seeing it until I get it home, get it in the editor, put it in the timeline, and watch. So maybe it's all those little things along with worrying about the guys going in, because if something does happen, it's not on anybody but me. And I think that's what I'm feeling too, is that I'm worried about them. Everybody is gung ho about it. They're so ready and excited, and I'm not. I'm just not. That sounds funny and terrible, I guess, but I felt like we could do it, and not doing it would be wrong to not do it. To think about it this way and put it out there, try to get something this way and present it this way, it's possible to do. So we have to do it. That's kind of how I thought about this. And I wish I'd have never said anything about it, to be honest with you. But maybe it needs to happen. I don't know. Let's see if William's got his stuff straightened out. Never said anything about it. No, still getting there. We're still getting the feedback. William needs to happen. I don't know. Let's see if William's got. I'm sorry, buddy. Yeah, when you come on here, if you haven't done it before, you need to wear headphones, because what happens is there's a slight delay, so we're hearing what your speakers are hearing. So when you put the headphones on, it takes that out, and so you go on the bottom, you'll see cam mic, and then you'll hit that, and this thing says audio will come up. William,
looks like it's frozen.
Okay, and add your headphones. It's just kind of the way StreamYard is. Everything's a process here. That didn't automatically pick up unless you've done it already. Then it'll recognize. Sometimes I have to go in through and add my mic back. I'll do it all in the beginning before we start. But yeah, I mean,
on my screens, everything frozen, but I can hear you, mate.
Oh, I'm frozen. It could be my internet, possibly.
Probably mine as well. But anyway, I can hear you. I just have to look at my handsome face. Yeah.
Lee 3PO. No one expecting you to miracle whip up a Sasquatch, Kerry. Oh no, I hope not. I really do. We've been talking this thing up quite a bit. The chat's kind of starting to go by a little bit. I'm sure there's so many people that are tired of hearing about this, but we really wanted to push it out there, that exactly what we were going to be doing, that people would understand that this is just not the same old trip. And it has everything to do with the place that we're going. And I said this earlier, I can't think of another place in the country, in the North America even, where doing this would work, because they're just not going to come around. They'll sit back and watch you and throw things at you probably, and you might catch a little something every now and then, filming continuously, doing it this way, but they really don't have anywhere to go here. They could get away, but with what we plan to do, we're just going to run into them again. And maybe we'll just keep pushing them around in circles. Who knows? But there's a lot of these things in there, and eventually they're going to probably get upset, and some reaction is going to happen. I hope it does. That's what we'll catch, is those reactions. And these guys, they've pledged they're going to stand in there and take it, just because this is the kind of sacrifice that needs to be made. to get this kind of evidence to show people these creatures are out there. This is how hard it is to get this evidence. You're absolutely right. It has to be shown, the difficulty, because most of the people that go out and do this, they're not filmmakers. They got their cameras. They show you what they're doing. I've said for so long that if someone would just talk to me through, if they're just walking through the woods getting nothing, just talk to me, because the only context we have is this, whatever is in the screen that's bouncing up and down and moving around while you're walking through the woods. I'll watch the entire thing if you're talking to me through it, so I can see and know what's going on, what you're experiencing, what are you smelling, what are you seeing, what are you hearing, those things. Even if you don't do it in real time, but go back and narrate the thing, I'll listen to that. You just don't see a whole lot of that. I haven't seen any of it, period. So this is kind of where I wanted to do it differently, a lot more attention to detail, the small things that actually matter in certain situations that you just normally don't get because someone didn't have their camera on. They might have thought it in the moment, maybe even said it, and didn't have their camera on, walking out, saving their battery. You know, it's a lot to have to do when you go out. You only have so much time that you can shoot. So you're kind of saving your camera batteries or whatever for the good moments. We're not doing this here. I got enough batteries. You swap out right then. Somebody's running to charge the ones you just took out. You know, this is kind of how this is going to go. It's just like a relay race. Out, in, filming here, filming there, and what you're going to see. Sometimes split screen, you'll see. Sometimes people in the field, what they're going through, then talking about what they did. A lot of dynamics, a lot of dynamics to this thing. And music, I haven't even thought about what kind of music to put in the thing, or background. Might not put any. I don't know. The film might just stand for itself. But name a documentary you ever watched that didn't have background music.
Well, just sounds anyway, you know.
Right.
But it's the thing is, you can't overdo it like some do. That would be distracting. But like, I really think that like the 24-hour-a-day filming is gonna put out, you know, the people that say, oh, why didn't they get the phone out and take a photo when they see an encounter? And it's like, you guys are going to be set up with all your gear ready to go right on you, and still may not get anything.
Right.
You know, and like anyone that says, oh, why didn't you get your phone out and take a photo? Everyone's got a phone. Why haven't they caught a photo of one of these things? And it's like, well, it's not that easy. And I'm going to be looking forward to seeing it, because, you know, I'm here on the other side of the world. There's no way I can join you at this stage in the way the world is. But
yeah.
So I'm really fascinated to see how you guys are going to cope out there, and of course where you're going with all the other interesting hazards around you. That's going to be fascinating for me as well. So I mean, I really think it's going to be a success either way.
Yeah, I hope so. I really do. I think everybody's going to come back safe. That's what I like to feel. But there's just going to be some stuff we do that isn't safe. Thank you, Phil. Welcome. If you want to be a member, it's $3 a month. We do appreciate that. That's what Linda and I are going to use to continue doing the travel shows after this expedition. Let's check on William, see if he's got it. We do appreciate. You got it? That's what Linda and I are going to use to continue doing the travel shows after. We can't even hear you. We can hear ourselves, but we can't hear you, William.
Got it?
That's what Linda. I'm sorry. You might have to add your microphone too. I'll pull him down. I'm sorry, man. It's just if you watch this back, you'll hear what we're hearing.
I'll have to watch this again, because nothing's moved on my screen for about 15 minutes. I've still got William down the bottom there holding his chin like this. And at least it's froze on a nice pose for me, and you're not doing some weird face.
I can see you fine. I don't know. I don't think it's my internet anyway.
Oh no, it's probably mine. Mine's probably gone on slow.
Okay.
But I don't care. I can hear you. I can't see chat either, so that's fine. Be kind. Oh, and to the chat, I really apologize for my really bad jokes in the last how long.
No, those are good, man. They're not bad. They're
I sometimes write stuff and then I'm looking there going, oh, I shouldn't have done that.
I see Pain
Shouldn't
One
have.
says, under extraordinary pressure, the difference between the ones that kept their resolve and acted on their instincts and the ones who let the second guessing thoughts take over them and in turn they failed. Fair enough. Easier said than done, though. I can promise
It's
you.
it's going to be really interesting, the whole scenario of it seems to me hearing these stories that, like, it doesn't matter how much you're convinced to go in there, there's almost like a physical barrier, a non-visual physical barrier holding you apart, away, and not going into where they are. So that'll be interesting to see the battle of that for everyone involved.
Yeah, I think I'll probably struggle with that as much as anybody, maybe even more. I don't know. It's just, it's a natural thing not to walk into a fire, you know,
Yeah,
and asking these guys to do that. You have to understand, when I talk to every single one that's going on this, I talked to them for a while about exactly what we were expecting them to do. And that's why there's not a lot of young guys going. There's a couple now that I've added, but a lot of them are film crew tech guys. But the field
yeah,
guys that are going in are all older, life experience. Kids are grown. There, there was a specific reason for that. People that I talked to and felt like had integrity, that I felt like were going to carry themselves a specific way after the film, because that's going to matter. I couldn't add one of these know-it-all researchers, and we'd get all this, and then someone's watching this guy tell us, what they don't do. For I couldn't do that, and so there were very few researchers that I trusted, and the ones that are going, I trust 100%, absolutely, because they've always been the same. They've never wavered. They've never made any uh, comment about these creatures that's ubiquitous or all encompassing. That this is what they do. This is what they don't do. There's those people out there that act like they just lived among them, and it's just not possible. They wouldn't. They're not the nature of the creature to allow that. It might be the case that there are some that want to have, uh, non-violent, I would say, or uh, pretty anemic interactions, but usually they're not direct; they're indirect. Snow White Bigfoot is case in point. Has really passive interactions with these creatures, trading out things and stuff like that. Mike Patterson, the stuff that he did, um, those were some direct interactions. Christopher Noel has had some direct interactions. He's had them 100 yards away, knocking,
yeah.
throwing things at him.
Pine
Those
cone on the head.
sure, but he never stepped over the boundaries of
Yeah,
what he knew for sure. Everything was always, could be, this is what it seems like. It's always presented in that way. That's why I chose him. Mark Newbill, same way. Plus, Mark Newbill is an excellent audio guy. He's getting a lot of
yeah,
the
that helps.
audio. Absolutely. And we've got a
Yeah,
great team. I can't say enough about the team. Two females, one that actually works in the park system there in Florida, and one that's a vet, a tracker, worked with,
the
dogs.
dog. Yeah, Lynn. Yeah,
Yeah, it's not just token females, on the trip.
no,
These
they've earned their spot, like everyone has by the sound of it. You know,
Clay
I
County.
do. Yeah, I do feel. I just like to say that I'd be very surprised if there isn't at least one person that sort of has a bit of a freak out. I mean, how do I say this? Like in the real, if in a situation that's not great, there are people that aren't going to react very well. And I'd be very surprised if that doesn't happen. But I don't think that's going to be a bad thing. Like, well, it might be a bad thing for the situation, but I mean, no one's going to judge these people for it, I don't feel. Well, there might be people that do, but the people that care and know and have watched your show will feel for these people. They won't be judgmental of them, is what I'd like to say.
I think most of them will, but there are going to be those. And what I've got to say to those right now that will say, well, you should have done this. If you'd have done this, you would have got it. If you would have done this, this is what I say. I've said it before. I'll say it again. Get you a team, put them together, go to a place, film however you want to, and do it that way. Show me. Don't tell me how to do this. I've got so many people that tell me so many things that have never shown me anything. Show me something. Mark Zaski, he'll show you something. Christopher Noel will show you something. Mark Newbill will show you something. Clay Campbell, his channel is called Swatching Strategies. It's just how his brain works, coming up with new and interesting ways to try to see if it works. If it doesn't, hey, we'll move on to something else. But there's a reason he's going, is because of the way he thinks. And in some of the strategies we've put together, we feel like are going to work here in this place. Because I've been there. I was there for 3 months. I went by myself once for 20 minutes. And that was the last time I ever went to try to do that because I was being surrounded. I could hear them. I could smell them. They were there. This is what's going to happen to us, I believe. Maybe it was more so because I was by myself. But when there's 4 people, maybe it won't happen as much, but I still think it's going to happen. And we're going to have the equipment to detect them, the radios in the ear to talk to each other, get in positions, and get this shot. There was there was a comment here, Amphibious Box. I want to read this right quick. I'm sorry. Can you see me yet?
No, I'm still frozen.
Still frozen? Amphibious Box says, I think the Sasquatch people want to remain elusive and fear mankind, knowing too much about them. Fear of their families being hunted and only a head to mount for a trophy is what I feel. I understand people feeling that way, but 14 years of looking into this subject, I don't think there's anything we can do that's going to change them. They're still going to be what they are, who they are, because I believe they're a type of people. They're still going to be who they are in the way they behave. They're still going to be elusive. They're still going to be hard to catch. They're just not going to be easy to hunt, period. There are very experienced hunters out there right now trying to do this and can't even get close. So I don't think any of that is going to change. And it's not like we're going to try to prove anything. All we want to get is some better evidence that they do exist. That's all. So people will say, okay, yeah, they are there, and look out for those things when maybe people won't go back in the woods because of it. I understand that. And maybe that's why whatever compartmentalized part of the government doesn't want this out there, because it is going to have an effect on the public more than it is on the Sasquatch themselves. I don't worry about them.
Yeah, well, and also what you're doing, if anything, happens, the situation, it's only going to affect that group. Well, maybe I could be wrong. They could communicate, but they're going to change and be affected with the human contact that you guys are going to provide.
Maybe,
but in other states. But then maybe they do contact. There's theories on that with other.
Maybe it'll change the way they behave there and make things safer for people there. because
Yeah.
they just blatantly
Or
come out.
worse.
Look, I don't know
Yeah.
if you've seen some of the stuff that
No, I haven't.
Zasky
No.
got here recently. I'll send you these pictures, and it's two pictures. There's several in it, but there's one that's very clear. It's an 80-yard shot taken with a telephoto lens. It's as clear as you're gonna get, and he's looking directly at him, but he's out in the open. You can see half of his body sticking out. You
Right.
can see this
Wow.
apex. He's facing right at the camera, and he's got his left hand up on a tree. You can see his thumb, his thumbnail. It's clear. And
Wow.
3 frames later, his hand is down, his head is turned this way, and you can really see his face and how ugly this guy is. And he's black hair all over, no hair on the face. Same exact thing I saw is that. And that green reflecting off of the face. I'll send you the pictures and you look at them and see for yourself. Matter of fact, if anybody else wants to see these, email me, bigfootodyssey@gmail.com. Mark Zasky has gotten things like this for the last 6 years. This last set they're so undeniable. And this is where we're going, to this place where they do that. They're not hiding and looking through the bushes in a hole like this. We may force them to do that, but these things are out there looking because they think that you're not looking for them, that they just can't be seen. Let me find them. All right, here they are. I'm gonna send them to you in Messenger.
Yep, sweet. Hey, how long do you reckon? I mean, you can't really answer this, but do you predict that it'll be before they're onto you as far as you're actually trying to find them?
It's totally up to us and how we act. I mean, we're going to do everything we can do, but we're human beings. We make mistakes. There could be a situation where there's guys out, guys out, girls out, and there's people sitting at camp and it's getting dark and they pick up the thermal and scan around and there's one standing watching us and someone goes, "Oh, there's one right there," and points just out of instinct, like,
Yeah,
"Oh, wow,
that's
I
gonna
got
give it
one."
away pretty quick.
It's going to
Yeah.
give it away quick. So there are
Yeah.
those situations, and we've been kind of going over these things, of what not to do, to what to try not to do, but you just don't know until you get there. And then you have, this specific feeling that you cannot control. I don't care who you are. You are not emotionally prepared to see this thing. There's people
No,
that think they are, but I'm telling you, just
I
take
don't
it
know.
from my experience. Even if you're prepared, you're just not. It's hard to explain. That much I do know. You see those pictures I sent you?
Oh, hang on. They have come through, but I have to come out of this to have a look,
Okay.
though.
If I was Danielle, I'd put them up here now for everyone to see. But email me. See if I can find my own email in this somewhere. Here it is.
Yeah,
BigfootOdyssey@gmail.com.
I'll have to wait and have a look until this. You've decided to finish the feed
Yeah,
tonight.
that's fine.
But that's fine. I'm happy. I'm happy to see them actually. But I can message you my reaction afterwards anyway.
Yeah. Ruin Temple, email me. I'll send them to you. And again, I'll go ahead and explain it here. What you're going to see is that he put a white circle on it, and there are others around him, but they're not clear. It's just kind of like a ball. But this one guy, he's out in his head. He's looking directly at the camera, and you can see it's this bone structure. Excuse me. And then I've got the other one. It's from a few frames later. You see the left hand up on the tree. You see the thumb. You can see the thumbnail. And he pulls the hand down and turns his head. So you see movement. You can detect movement there. And I'm sure you could see it better in the actual video clip, but I didn't get that from him. I just got the clearest stills that he sent me. And if you guys can see all this stuff that he gets, him and Melanie get, if you go to their Patreon, $2 a month, crypto reality on Patreon. I know you getting messages now too.
Oh no, I just had my phone's on. I just saw it's on 6%, so I might have to go soon. Unfortunately, I've just plugged it into charge, so I'm going to get a bit shaky here. So hope no one gets seasick. because I'm holding it in my hand. Yeah, no, I
No,
just plugged it into my computer to charge.
no worries. I'm gonna email these to Mark Copeland. He said he could do it. You gonna come on here with us, Mark? If I can find your email. It got awfully quiet.
And don't worry about dead air. Mogs does it all the time, and he's fine. He goes, "Oh, sorry, I'm just checking the chat."
I can't find your email. I can't find your email, Mark. I can send them to you in Messenger. I can do that if you want to come on here and show everybody. And I could probably do it, email them to myself, but I haven't been getting my own emails. Has been the problem. But to me, this is undeniable evidence. But people look at it and they say, well, that's just pareidolia. Let me ask you this. If it's pareidolia, why does it always look like Sasquatch? That they always look like this thing. It always looks like this. It's got symmetry. It's the same bone structure. It's got this same apex. They look different from one another, but it's all still the same bone structure. The soft tissues are just a little different. One might have a wide nose or a thinner nose or more pointed or, just like us. But why is it always that? Why can you not pick that out of anything? You try to pick that out of the bushes and you're going to get an eye over here and then maybe an eye down here, kind of a nose over here. It's not going to be symmetrical. It's symmetrical every time. And it's the reason that I even called him when I saw it the first time, because it is exactly what I had seen for myself for the first time. And at that point, 9 years, that someone was showing me what I had seen. And it was kind of exciting, but it caused this problem. It caused this anxiety to flare back up. These nightmares were coming. And if I wouldn't have looked at that stuff, there would be no Bigfoot Odyssey now, because Linda made me do this because of those things. She'll wake me up. Who are you yelling at? I'm like, am I yelling? She's like, yeah, you're screaming at somebody. And it was those things because it was affecting her. You have to do something. So I was like, okay, I'll try to research. I'll try to do something with the subject. Couldn't do it. I just couldn't do it. I could have done it. I probably would have eventually gotten through and better, but this is better for me to do it this way. This is my contribution. So I told her, I said, we got to do something no one else is doing. And I'm not going to just interview someone that had an encounter. We're going to get the whole story. That's why we called it Odyssey. Yep. It's your Odyssey journey, dotted with notable experiences. It's your journey through Sasquatch. That's why when you watch our documentary, it's not just a single event. It's a lot of things and evidence and stories. And that's the only thing I was willing to travel for, because no one was really doing that. You could go to Sasquatch Chronicles and thank God for Wes Germer and listen to a story or someone's encounter. Dixie Cryptid, thank God for him, and tell these people's story that don't want to come on and tell it themselves. So they send it to him and he does it. Steve Isdall, he does it. He tells people stories. These people are doing great things. Someone needs to be doing that. Someone needs to be doing this, what we're about to go do. It's just so involved. Yep. There's just so much to it that, and I think that's what's got me not able to sleep. This thinking is standing on the edge of it. It's like standing on the edge of that deep dark and about to step in. There's some anxiety involved in it. And that's what I'm feeling. Absolutely. And I appreciate everyone joining me here and letting me talk about it. So maybe I can go to sleep after this. I don't know.
Yeah, but when I've had jobs where I'm running a team of 50, 60 people and it's not doing what you're doing by any stretch of the imagination, but I'll still wake up in the middle of the night and just thinking about the next day and planning it, and I hope everything goes well and what am I going to get everyone to do, and hope there's no stuff ups. And then he swore, Joe. And so I can only half understand, and I'll be, you wake up in the middle of the night and all you can think about is work. which is a horrible thing to happen. But so I can sort of understand, and there's a lot of people out there that will understand what you're going through at the moment. But I've just got a question about you were talking about how you got into the Bigfoot Odyssey thing. Going back to your encounter, what between your encounter and when you could sort of start feeling a better, for anyone else out there that's going through this, you know, this experience of the aftermath of encounters, what was the biggest turning point for you, do you think?
Well, it took me a long time. It took me a couple years, but I did it a really bad way. I did it the wrong way.
Right.
Instead of confronting it, said, okay, well, I'll just become somebody else. I'll become someone that this didn't happen to. So I
Right.
did. Completely changed everything. I never went back in the woods again. You know, I wasn't very outgoing at all. I didn't, if I was ever out around people, I made it a point not to make eye contact. I didn't want to talk to anybody. I don't want to talk to you. You know, I was just not, I didn't behave as a really nice person. And I can acknowledge that. So I changed that. I became that other person that didn't do those things I did before. And that helped. It worked for me. But the problem is that I was still, it's not the same as keeping a secret, because you're suppressing a truth that is going to find itself out of you, find a way out of you in unhealthy ways. Nightmares, anxiety attacks, PTSD, depression, you know, something's going to affect you physically, mentally, because you're trying to hold it in and it needs to come out. And that's what I should have done a long time ago, was that. But I was a guy, a stupid, stubborn, ignorant, knew everything that I needed to know about the woods. You weren't going to tell me, if before I'd seen it, you weren't going to tell me that was a Sasquatch. I would have laughed at you and walked away and said, you're an idiot. You are a fool. And then, of course, I crossed the line, finally, the final straw for them, and it happened. And here we are. Probably a good thing. I can look at it now as being a good thing that it did happen. I definitely would not be doing anything remotely like this had it not happened. I would probably still be out there doing the same thing.
And all of us out here in the, you know, the audience chat community are very grateful for that you had to go through that horrible pain. But to get to the point where you're doing this show and helping other people, you know, everyone out there, well, not everyone, but majority of the people out there really appreciate what you do, Kerry. Really appreciate it.
Cool. That means a lot. It really does. Me and Linda, we try hard. We think about this all the time. What else can we do? You know, when it was COVID, what could we do?
Yep.
When I had lost my job, a lot of people stepped up and helped us out. You know, Linda kept working, but when COVID shut down, the oil field shut down, I was done for 6 months. That's a long time to sit and do nothing. I created the Shudder.
Yeah.
I created the Shudder, which is a narration channel that I have.
Yes, I know all about that.
That I haven't done since Halloween because I've been too busy with this other stuff. I created that just to try to get some income coming in.
Yeah.
You know, I made the Late Show for the same reason, and me and Brad still do the Late Show, but YouTube.
Yeah, the Late Show is great.
They're up to their old tricks again. The old YouTube is. So used to, I would when I monetized a video, I would put one in the beginning, one in the middle, and one in the end, an ad. Well, here lately, I've just been hitting monetize and let YouTube do it, and they'll put one every 2 minutes. Ad. And I don't know they've done it because I have YouTube Premium. But what I'll get is a comment, man, I can't watch this. There's an ad every 30 seconds. So I know, that's when I know I got to go in and I just turn it off. Forget it. They're only hurting themselves when they do that.
It is kind of annoying, but I mean, you just wait the 2 seconds and press the skip. Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It is a distracting, but it's not really the end of the world. That's the reason I don't watch normal television, is because the ads, because they go for like 5 minutes in every 20. But if half a minute ad is nothing to me.
Yeah, you can skip through them, and someone
Yeah.
was saying, "Well, there's a way you can do it," and I was like, "Quit telling people how to not watch the ads."
Yeah.
Oh wow, there's a lot of people that want to see this picture. Okay,
Yeah, right. Well, yeah,
I'm not going to
it's quite exclusive, isn't it? Yeah,
yeah,
really.
I'm not gonna say anything. I'm just gonna send you guys the pics. So
Yep.
I promise you I'll send them to you as soon as we're done here, which will probably be shortly. I think I could probably lay down and go to sleep now, maybe. But I do appreciate you guys staying up with me, and I know most of you are not up. You're just up anyway, and it's not like I
Yeah,
woke
well,
you
it's
up.
yeah, well, it's 10 to 9 here, p.m. and Tuesday.
Yes, you're in the future.
Yeah, I'm 17 hours in the future, I think, from Arizona. Mogs keeps saying. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's 18 hours, I guess, from here.
Yeah,
Okay.
so it's a nice day today. Oh no, it just did start raining, but we're in summer anyway. No, we've finished summer.
About to be fall.
Yeah, things are starting to die away.
Yeah, starting to get spring around here. Things are starting to grow. So it's kind of weird because you're on the absolute opposite side of the planet.
Pretty much.
So we're communicating via satellite. For those of you that believe the Earth is flat, we're actually
No, I'm
speaking,
not apologizing. Actually, yeah.
we are actually speaking via satellite right now. So
Yeah.
I'm not going into that realm again. There's a lot of people that think the Earth is flat, and they have every right to believe whatever they want. But you're just mistaken. Sorry. Earth is
Yep. There's some things, mate. Come on.
Oh, but hey, look,
And a lot of is there any? Oh, this is the last comment I'm going to say on it. Is there any flat earthers that have left their hometown?
I don't know.
Well, they
Who's
obviously haven't traveled overseas.
No, but look, the big guys, there's several of them that just keep pushing the same old tired narratives, and I used to watch that stuff, and I'd watch Sideman Dan, and he was just blowing them out of the water. I just couldn't watch it anymore. Then no one's going to get through to them. They're going to believe what they believe. A lot of it is religiously based by what they think it says in the scripture about the earth.
Interpretation.
It's an interpretation. That's right. But in reality, you can actually go and watch real time satellite feed. China has one that shows the entire Earth. And
you can't trust China.
Yeah, they probably got somebody there drawing the whole thing, right? The whole time. You are absolutely right.
Oh, sorry.
Britfoot.
I don't want to I'm not going to get into political.
A nice picture there, Britfoot. Keep strong, Kerry. You have all of us lots behind you. I do. And that's why I came here and didn't bother to wake anybody up or call anybody else. I came to my Bigfoot families, and I really do appreciate it very much. 5 people left. They must have been flat earthers. So I'm okay with it. I'm good with it.
You must be so upset.
No, we have a great community here, a great support system. Everybody backs everybody up here. I've yet to see just a few that really turn their back on someone else. And because there are people that can be victimize themselves and be really totally unforgiving for something so small and petty. I've seen it happen, and just not the kind of people I want to associate with or have anything to do with. And I'd much rather be with my Bigfoot family here than anywhere except for at home with Linda and the boys. But I'm not. I'm out here in the middle of the desert by myself. Maybe that has something to do with it too. Cabin fever, maybe, I don't know. But we are standing on the edge of this thing that we've planned for 2 years, and we're going to go down there and do this thing. We're going to do it. Whatever we get is what we get, and just try really hard to make sure everybody comes home from it. But we're still going to have to push that envelope. If we're going to get what we plan to get, we got to push that envelope. And all I want to do is make a good film. I want these guys to do what they've said they were going to do. Absolutely. I'm going to do my best to do exactly what I said I was going to do, and try to put out a really good film for you guys. So, but I think,
and you got to remember that, and if something goes wrong, I don't want to talk about physically wrong, but like if there's a distraction in a different direction, that's the story as well. You got to, it's adaptable, isn't it? I mean, there's not a script set in stone,
right?
But whatever happens, we are going to be interested and want to watch it. Well, I am.
When it comes to the whole getting hurt, we've prepared for that as best we can.
I don't want to see that.
Well, I'm just saying we've prepared the best way I know how. I got 3 medics on the team. I've got 2 trauma kits. We got a defibrillator.
Yeah.
We've put a lot into this. And so if someone does get hurt, everything is going to be there to make sure they're kept stable while, the medics or paramedics or whatever get their life light, whatever has to happen. I really, really hope none of that happens. I do.
That's actually not what I mean. I was talking about outside influences more than injury. I mean, the COVID thing was a bit of a bummer, or a big bummer.
Right. It's a good thing,
of course.
Good thing.
Well, you're more prepared. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Everything happens for a reason, mate. That's how life is. And if something bad happens, it leads on to something better. That's how I feel anyway.
Yeah, you're right. You just can't see the forest for all the trees. When you're right in the middle of it, it's the worst thing. You've gone through all this, planned all this.
Yeah.
And now it's getting shut down at 0 hour. And then looking back, it's probably the best thing that could have happened for the film, for the subject, that we are actually more prepared to the nth degree, more prepared to do it this time, because we've had a whole year to think about every small detail. We had 6 months before, but something was different last time. It was almost like
it almost seemed rushed.
Maybe it was a little bit. We were going to go down there and do what we could do. But I was more ambitious and foolishly about being able to film for 24 hours for 168 hours straight. And the way it's going to have to be done, once the reality of it hits you and you really think about what it's going to take to do that, then you really start preparing. So that's what happened. Is I had this thought in my head of how I could do it. And then we got out there in the woods camping with everyone that I haven't done in years. And then the reality kind of sunk in. It's like, I'm not going to be able to do this with 2 people. It's just no way. So now I got 5 plus me. So there's 6. Everybody's going to be able to rest, film, even go out. Everybody's going to be doing a lot of stuff. So we're ready. It's actually going to happen this time. Just don't be in a hurry.
Yep.
To see it, because it's going to probably be July or August before we put the first episode out. So, but Hilton, I really appreciate you showing up here and not making me do this.
Yeah, no worries, man. Are you feeling a bit better?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I do.
That's great.
I think I might be able to actually lay down and go to sleep in an hour or so.
Good result. Good result.
Absolutely. Well, thanks everybody for this. I don't know if I'm going to leave this up. I might just leave it up. Why not? I'm not shamed. I'll let everybody watch. But thank you all for joining. Absolutely. Everyone that's emailed me, bigfootodyssey@gmail.com. As soon as I hang up here, I'm going to send you these pictures under one condition. You have to tell me what you think about it. You got to email me back. So, Hilton, thank you, buddy.
Yeah, no worries. Oh, and sorry to everyone to see that there's actually a serious side to me.
Yeah. Sorry you got to see the serious side.
Yeah.
All right.
It's not all dad jokes.
Thank you, brother. Thanks, everybody.
Yeah, no worries,
Appreciate
mate.
you so much.
Glad